Hello champions, I am Dr. Monika. Plants, they are wizards as far as photosynthesis is concerned, and their entire structure that is built up to support the process. For example, their roots, they are specialized to absorb water, and then this water that is passed on to the upper parts of the plants. And the leaves of the plants, they are specialized in a way that they have stomata which can regulate the gaseous exchange. It was in 1771 that an English scientist called Joseph Priestley began the study of photosynthesis. And photosynthesis, its evolution that has led to the formation of such enormous multicellular life forms which are existing on the surface. Photosynthesis, if we talk about the plants, they can just utilize 0.1 to 2% of the sun's energy into the chemical energy, and maximum photosynthesis that is brought about by the plants which are there in the seawater. For example, the photosynthetic phytoplankton, they are responsible for 70% of the release of the oxygen into the air. And on the other hand, the landforms, they produce only 30% of the oxygen. The plants, they produce around 110 million tons of carbon into the biomass. And whole of this process of photosynthesis, that is because of the special organelles in the plants called chloroplasts. In a plant cell, there can be 10 to 100 chloroplasts per cell. And considering the number of cells in a multicellular plant, there can be up to 8 lakh chloroplast molecules per square millimeter. Now these chloroplasts, they have a special green pigment called as chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is not the only pigment. Apart from that, there are many other pigments which are similar to the chlorophyll in its structure, and they also help this process to happen. All these other pigments, they absorb the sun's energy and ultimately they pass their energy to the chlorophyll molecule. Now, if I say in the photosynthesis process, it just takes less than 2 seconds to happen. It is a speedy process, and the slowest part of the process, which involves the production of the food and the release of oxygen, it just takes less than a second to happen. And the magic number is 6. Why 6? Because in this process, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, they react with 6 molecules of water to produce a single glucose molecule, which is again a 6 carbon compound, and the release of 6 oxygen molecules. Now, the process that takes place in 2 steps. What are these 2 steps? The light reaction and the dark reaction. Now, the light reaction, which is the first phase of photosynthesis, in which light, that is very essential for it to happen, and it is in the presence of light that leads to the production of 2 molecules, that is ATP and NADPH. And this NADPH, it is an electron carrier molecule. Now these 2 substances which are produced in the light reaction, they are ultimately utilized in the dark reaction, or which we call as dark phase of photosynthesis. Why it is called as dark phase? Because for this phase to happen, light is not the essential requirement for the plant. It can happen in light also, it can happen in dark also, and it is during the dark phase that the synthesis of food or the glucose molecule that is synthesized by the plants utilizing the energy from the ATP.